One method we've learned for both spelling and identifying intervals when we're looking at both the generic interval or its number and also the quality, which is major or minor or perfect or in some cases diminished or augmented as well. One method that we've looked at is looking at the bottom note as if it's the first degree or tonic of a major scale. And in a major key, the interval from the tonic to each scale degree is either major or perfect. And as you remember, unisons, fourths, fifths, and octaves are the intervals that in a major scale, also in a minor scale, are the perfect intervals. The other intervals, the second, the third, the sixth, and the seventh, those are the intervals that come in the major and minor varieties. So in the major scale, from the tonic to the second is a major second. From the tonic to the third degree, or the mediant, is a major third. From the tonic to the fourth degree is a perfect fifth. From the tonic to the fifth degree is a perfect fifth. Did I say that already? Anyway, tonic to the sixth is a major sixth, and the tonic to the seventh is a major seventh. Oh, okay. And the tonic up to the tonic and octave is a perfect octave. So we've got major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, and perfect octave. So if we see two notes, and here we have an A and an E, we know that the generic interval is that of a fifth. A, can we use the fingers? A, B, C, D, E. Like I say, for 34 years, I think I've been telling people, no, it can't be that long, but anyway, for over 25 years, I've been telling people to use your fingers when you figure out the number. So we know that it's some kind of a fifth. And using this system, the major key system, we can think, well, if A is the bottom note, what is the key signature for A major? Well, we know that A has sharps in it because it's not C and it's not F, and it's got a natural as the name of the note. And we know that the last sharp will be a minor second below the tonic, so that would be G sharp. So we know that in the key of F major, not F major, sorry, in the key of A major, there are F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. E is a natural, so therefore this must be a perfect fifth. Okay? Now let's say that one of these notes, we'll keep the A and the E, and let's say that we had an A flat. All right. We know that that is still a fifth because the generic interval is still a fifth. And now we think, well, we know A flat is a key that has flats in it, and those flats are B, E, A, and D, because we list the flats. If we were writing out the key signature, we'd be writing them down, but if we just want to know what the flats are, we just say the flats till we get one past the flat that is the tonic of the key, because the tonic of the key is the penultimate flat in the key signature. So we know that we have B, E, A, and D flat. So we know that there's an E flat and A flat major. So we know that E flat would be a perfect fifth above. And what we have is an E natural. So we know it's E flat to E is one half step higher. So therefore, it's not a perfect fifth, but it's a half step bigger than a perfect fifth, and it's an augmented fifth. Now, if we had a head, an A flat, and an E flat, well, then we would have known, again, that it's a fifth. And we would think B, E, A, D, yeah, it's an E flat, so that's got to be a perfect fifth. I already wrote the perfect down. And let's say that we had A flat, and you guessed it, E double flat. All right, well, we still would have known that it's a fifth. Let me do it right this time. We know it's a fifth, and we know that there is an E flat in the key of A flat, because we've just done that now 4 times, and that this double flat on the top note makes it a half step smaller than the perfect interval. And when you take a perfect interval and you make it a half step smaller, it's diminished. So we would write a little d in front of the 5. So that's how we use the major key system for identifying intervals. The same thing would happen if we were writing an interval. So let's say that you want to be in bass clef now, huh? Okay. So let's say that we had a G as the bottom note, and we've been told to write a perfect fifth above. Okay, we'll do that. And actually, let's say we're going to do a perfect fourth above, because we were just using fifths. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 notes, G, A, B, C. Now we look and see, is that a perfect fourth? Well, if it is a perfect fourth, it will be the note that's in G major. We know that G is a key that has a sharp or sharps in it because it's not C or F, the two natural note keys that don't have a sharp or sharps. We know if we go down a minor second, we get F sharp. We know that F sharp is the first sharp that happens when we have keys with sharps in them. So we know it's the only sharp in G major. And so we know that C is natural. And so yes, that is a perfect fifth. Let's say now that we're going to make this a little bit more complicated. Let's say we need to write an augmented fifth above A. Well, we know it would be A, B, C, D, E. E would be the top note. Now we think, well, in A major, is there an E natural? Well, A major, the last sharp is G sharp, because that's a minor second below A. The sharps, therefore, are F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. None of those are E. So the E is a perfect fifth above A. And to make that a half a step bigger, we would add a sharp in front of it. Now, finally, let's do a diminished fifth. And let's start on C. Okay, so we've got C. We're going to do a diminished fifth below. So we're going to come down from C. There we go. C, B, A, G, F. It's got to be some kind of an F. All right. Now, is that a diminished fifth in F major or what? Okay, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. So in F major, we know that there's just one flat because that's one of the keys that we've memorized the key signature for. And so that we know that in F to C is a perfect fifth. We want this to be a diminished fifth, so it has to be half a step smaller. And the note that we started with, because we were writing a diminished fifth below, the note that we started with was the C, so we can't change that note. So we have to change the bottom note. We know that this is a perfect fifth the way that, there it is. Where is it? Here it is. We know this is a perfect fifth. Ah, there it is. It's a perfect fifth just the way it is. We have to make it smaller. The only note that we can change is the bottom note because we had the top note as a given note. So to make that smaller, we're raising that F to an F sharp. Now, if we want to double check that we did it the right way, because this can get confusing, then we can say, well, in F sharp major, is there a C sharp? Well, we know F sharp has sharps in it, and it's going to be F, C, G, D, A, and E. So F, C. We know there's a C sharp. A C sharp would be a perfect fifth above F sharp. We have a C natural that's a half a step smaller than F sharp up to C sharp. So yes, that's a diminished fifth. I hope that was helpful.